Hey,
After an
y'all. Welcome to our first episode.
First episode.
Not zero.
Nope.
Because our first was really zero. This is our first episode.
Yes.
Actually recording in this beautiful space in Burbank. Where are we, Hannah?
We are at Latinx Therapy.
That's right.
Yep.
And what is this?
And so this is a space, the podcast room they have. But this is also a space for Adriana is the one who created this. And there are multiple counseling rooms where people can come for therapy, personal counseling. Yeah. Bettering themselves. So what a perfect space. And
what a perfect space. Women owned.
Yep.
Latinx women owned. Yes.
Supporting.
Yes. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today, Hannah?
Well, so we talked about the other week how basically there's this thing about dating apps and like playing this game with men, women, partners, whatever the case. But it kind of just came up with a friend, and we were talking about how these games not only exist in the dating world, but how we have to play these games, and it exists in a bunch of systems that we participate in. And so I kind of thought that was a subject we can definitely expand on.
Definitely. I mean, personally, I think we both, haven't ever, how do you say that? Have never done. English is my second language. The dating app thing, the online dating thing. I've never done that. Hannah's never done that.
Yeah.
But I think it doesn't even apply only to the dating apps. Like how there's this like set of rules or like whatever you're supposed to like say, or like the steps you're supposed to take, or like the amount of time you're supposed to wait to like I feel like just dating in general, there's like this kind of like set of rules or game. And we were also just saying like, who the fuck invented these rules?
Yeah, who made these rules?
Like in the first
And why
place?
are you following them?
Yeah. Why are you following them? Like if you have a set of rules and you establish your boundaries, good for you. But if you're just following like the trend of this
dating app lingo or
dating lingo in general,
etiquette, if you would call it that, but
question it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like these rules were invented by a bunch of horny guys.
Yes, maybe. Or it's
straight
like
guys.
Randomly people just caught on and like that's how you're supposed to do it based on insecurity or don't want to feel rejection or trying to place yourself and your mental health kind of in a withdrawn space so that you can't get hurt.
But at the same time, there's this, I've seen this pattern of like trying to seem cool. You don't want to seem too interested, or you don't want to seem too invested, or you don't want to seem like you want a real, not a real, but like not a casual relationship. Like you have to kind of like pretend that you don't want that. So they get interested or like whatever. I don't get it. I don't get that. Why you have to lie or why you have to pretend?
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like, I don't know. I think some people deep down want like a relationship and want exclusivity and want monogamy and like want these things, but the dating app, you want to also present yourself as open and willing to try new things and experiment and all this stuff. But the thing is if you're going, this is my feeling, if you're going into it with some sort of broad intention, even though you know what you want, then you're already starting the endeavor with conflict inside.
Which is what was happening to our friend.
Yeah.
She was conflicted.
Yeah.
Because she was like, she didn't even know what she wanted because she was just following these rules in the first place. So she was having a hard time connecting to what she really wanted. So that was one. And then when she started kind kind of like discovering that, she still didn't want to uncover it all at once. It was like
Mm-hmm.
there was this like set of steps that she thought she had to follow, because just saying that she didn't want to, that she wanted monogamy, basically it
Yeah.
was too much. It was like a second conversation. There needed to be like a preliminary
Mm-hmm.
talk
Like a
to
slow
then
unraveling.
yes, yes. And I'm like, dude, like that's like
It's like a striptease.
right. That's the first, like, Hannah's always like, that's the first thing I ask. Are you monogamous? Are you monogamous?
Yeah.
Like, do you believe in monogamy? Like, that's your first question.
Yeah, because that's important to me, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
And some people maybe not. And also
exactly.
that's okay.
Yeah. But just say what you want. Like, don't.
Yeah.
And it's the same, like, to me, I was even telling her, like, I don't even know if I would want like a casual or like more like a deeper I don't even know how to label those. Like, what's casual and what's the other one? Like, serious? Like, aren't all like
Yeah.
aren't all relationships serious? Like, aren't they all real?
Yes.
But like, I don't know, just someone to have sex with, as opposed to like someone who you are
Like
willing
spend
to
your life with or
connect at a
connect.
deeper level,
Yeah.
or like whatever the fuck,
Terminology,
right?
yeah.
So whatever the lingo our kids using these days.
Children.
Oh, children of the corn. And I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, because she was like, the thing, like the episode was that she had been seeing this guy, and they had already started having sex, and then he then went over to like this other city to see her and spent a weekend with her, and it was all of these like romantic, like, I don't know, displays of affection, that to me, that kind of like seems like it's like a guy that wants like a relation, like a deeper relationship,
Yes.
like boyfriend and girlfriend type of relationship, to me. So then she comes back from that. She was staying there for like a week or something. He only went there for a weekend, came back. And then when she got back, they saw each other, and she found some condoms, a box of condoms in his bathroom. And it was three things. A toothbrush in the shower, in his shower. He lives with his sister. They both have separate rooms with their separate bathrooms. And also some, what is this like alcoholic beverage that the kids are doing? This White Claw,
like seltzer or something. Yeah.
White Claw, that he previously said like, I don't drink that shit, I don't like that, right? So it was like three indicators, like three pieces of physical evidence that there had been someone there that maybe, who we haven't, like, we don't know.
We still don't know.
We still don't know. She still doesn't know. She doesn't want to know. But the thing is, like, she felt, she's like, I didn't feel jealous, but I felt uncomfortable. Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like the thought of like him doing the same things he was doing with me like the previous week. Like, we were showering together and we were like doing these things, and then the thought of like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. So I'm like, okay, so like, tell him. But she's like, but still, I stayed there and still had sex with him, and then I left, but I felt like shit. And I'm like, oh fuck, I would have made a scene. Like, I'm not saying that's also like a thing that you should do, but I would have made it like, but she was like, because we didn't talk about, because it wasn't, I didn't say that from the beginning. So like, I understand that, but at the same time, your feelings are still valid. It doesn't,
right, whatever you're feeling, that is what you're feeling,
and that's it. Like,
and that's that's your experience.
You can choose to express them or not, but it doesn't, I mean, the justification for not expressing your feelings shouldn't be like, but what if he freaks out, or like whatever, or what if, like, I don't know, that's where it's like,
right, it's like trapped in these rules, or like confined spaces where it's like, I don't know, because this, and what if I lose him, and then I have to do this all over again with a new guy, a new app, a new whatever. I
But
don't
wouldn't
know.
you want to lose someone that's not gonna have the same, like, that's not compatible with how you
Right.
think or like how you feel, or like that's not gonna respect whatever it is that you're feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let the fuckers filter themselves.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I agree.
Right? Okay, so the thing was like, I'm just gonna ask him about, no, I'm just gonna say that if I'm just gonna ask him if he wants something casual or if he wants something like more serious. And I'm just gonna establish that I was looking for something more serious, even though I
Mm-hmm.
didn't probably mention it beforehand. I just want to clear that up. And I'm like, okay, but still, the casual serious thing is independent from the monogamist polygamous
Conversation.
thing,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I can have a fuck buddy that I'm only fucking, like, we're only fucking each other and we're monogamous,
Yeah.
but we know that we don't connect in every level, so we just, like, we know we're
That's
not
what it
gonna be
is.
boyfriend and girlfriend, and like
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
But we're still exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
because I, like, you don't feel comfortable like fucking a lot of people at the same time. And
Right.
with that, I mean, like, that also includes me having sex with someone who is having sex with other people,
Yeah.
because that, like,
Yeah.
the karmatic I mean, reasoning behind it is like, I'm sharing or like absorbing the karma of like all of those other people that
Yeah.
I really
You're,
don't
yeah,
want.
like all of their energy. It's like you're opening your heart, because when you are engaging in a sexual experience in whatever way, you are opening yourself up to that person. It is vulnerable. And so it's like, for me, I'm not trying to do that with Guy and all the other women he's with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it already takes a lot for me to just do that with Guy. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And like, yeah, she was at point, like, at the end of the day, you don't even know, like, you just trust that they're not doing it,
Yeah.
and whatever. Yes,
Absolutely.
that's true, but at the same time, like, if you establish it from the beginning, and he turns out, or the person turns out to be an asshole or a liar or like whatever the fuck, then that's on the person, not on you for not expressing what you wanted.
Right.
So I was like, when she was like, yeah, I'm just gonna ask him about like casual versus serious, I'm like, but that's not really what you're asking about. You're asking
Right.
about exclusivity. Like, that's really what you want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, yeah, but maybe that would be like after, once he tells me this, then that would be like a second talk, because that would be another conversation, because it would be like too much, or like thinking like it would be like too much, too intense for like
Yeah.
what. And I'm like, fuck.
No.
I would say it like before even starting, you know what I mean? Like, it's never too early to say that.
Yeah.
And it's not too and what if you are too intense? Like, what does that even mean? Like,
Well, yes. And is that femininity? Is that woman power? Like, what is the intensity there, and what is the
knowing
fear?
your boundaries, like, is that
Yeah.
intense?
Like, and then if that's the case, why does that have to be deemed intense?
Exactly. And why is intense a bad thing?
Yeah.
Why? Isn't that a good thing?
I guess it depends on the person. I guess if you can handle intensity or not. Not that it needs to be handled, but it's like, it's a lot of energy, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Energy transfer, energy exchange. Maybe some people aren't either used to that or don't want it, or I don't know.
I don't know.
I
feel like there's also this like misconception of like intensity is like drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's gonna become like a fight or an argument or like whatever that. And in reality, no, not really. I mean, if you're toxic, I mean, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but you can be intense without being toxic and just be a wonderful experience.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, what is passion?
Exactly.
It's like, isn't that part of like, oh, I want this, I almost said drama, but yeah, like drama, romance, passion, like whatever they have in said storylines or said movies or whatever. People are,
Don't even get me started.
You know what I mean? But it's like people are drawn to those and people like that. But that's also something that, you know, if their intensity is high, okay, but bring it into the reality of things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
someone's coming. Like, so hi. I hope you're okay. Yeah, the air quality is
yeah, so the fires.
So, and then to prove my point, the guy's answer was, I actually feel the same way. I don't do casual things, and what's that noise? I don't do casual whatever, and sorry if I was not too open. I had that before where like girls tell me or like women tell me that I'm not being like open enough or like whatever. So I'm like, there you go. He even thought that it was something that he was doing about like himself not opening up.
Yeah.
When in reality, you want to ask about if he's fucking someone else.
Yeah.
Or what the fuck with that condom box or like what, you know, like it was something so specific what you really wanted to know. And then you asked another question and then you got an answer for another question that you had, but you still don't have the answer for that original question.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, still don't have the answer.
Which would bother me.
Oh,
and maybe it bothers us. That's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, totally.
Because it goes against that intuitive nature within us, which is like something that we try to build that and connect to that in yoga and in daily life all the time. You know what I mean? Thinking about the third eye, thinking about this space of intuition. So it's like when you are in a practice of constantly tapping into your intuitive sense, but then you are upheld to these standards and rules and these games, and you decide to choose against your intuition, now you're suppressing it, and now you're going against what you feel inside is true and right and what you need for your knowing.
And what message are you giving yourself and your intuition and your third eye?
Yeah,
it's like disregarding that.
Yeah, it's now maybe you feel you have more trust with said person, but now you have less trust with you and your intuition. Because
and it also links to another thing she said, because then she's like kind of like planning like, so where do I go from now? I think now we need a conversation in person. I'm like, yeah, great, that's perfect. But I think I'm gonna say that maybe I want to like hold back a little bit. I mean, just like stop or like slow down like in the sexual realm or like whatever, because I think we need to get to know each other better and like see if we're like compatible and like all of these things besides like the sex stuff. But I think I'm gonna say like, but let's tone that, like dial that back, but like it's fine, like you can have sex with other people as long as I don't know. I'm like, what? I'm like, how do you, because I really don't, she was like, I really don't care. I don't care if he has sex with other people, I just don't want to know. And I'm like, that's a disconnection, because if you really didn't have a problem with it happening, why would you have a problem knowing it? And I think it went back to the same, like, because in reality you don't know. I'm like, yeah, but that's separate. Like, if he's gonna be a liar or an asshole, yeah, we don't know, we don't assume that from a person that we just met. But if you're from the beginning saying like, oh, because I'm not gonna give you sex, go ahead and find it somewhere else, because I guess I'm not enough without that, so do that. As long as I don't know, that's fine. I'm like, I think that's not intuitive. Like, your intuition is that really, and obviously like 2 or 3 days later she was like, you were right, I don't want him to have sex with
yes, exactly.
And that's what I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
But so that's like that story, and that's like about dating. But like, how many of these like ideas we subscribe to that we don't even, thank you, I had a hair across my forehead, couldn't find it, thanks Hannah.
I got you.
Thank you. Eh, you subscribe to these ideas that you don't even know where they come from. And it applies to like so many things, like education or like our consumerism,
Yes.
like all of these things we
Yes.
buy that we don't need and that we've been like just they drilled in our heads that we need all these
Yeah.
stupid ass things that we don't. And like I don't know what else did I say? Education. Yeah, like
Education.
how that's
Yeah.
like the
I mean,
system's
that's a
so
huge
flawed. That's
system.
a huge. That's like
Flawed
three
system.
three
Yeah.
episodes.
Ah,
Don't get
I
me
know.
started on how that relates to the like education all the way to like the perfect like to university
Yeah.
and specifically in like health sciences
Mm-hmm.
and how that's totally manipulated by pharmaceutical companies
Mm-hmm.
and because their interest is to keep you sick, not healthy. So
Right.
from what you learn in pre-med, med school, nursing school, all of those things are really like question it. Where is it coming from?
Yeah.
And another,
Yeah.
like as a therapist, how you have that
Yeah.
example of how your therapist, can you tell that story?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, with everything going on during this pandemic and the rise of the Black Lives Matter and that whole movement, it started to, when I was having a therapeutic, well, when I was continuing therapy with my personal therapist, she, as a Black woman and a Black therapist, started to question, you know, where are these theories coming from? Where is my, like, studies and university and professors, like, what is their background? What is their cultural and systemic, you know, history? Because that's what she was then trained in. So she and I would spend a lot of our sessions just talking about how, yeah, like a lot of the theories, one, come from men and
White rich men.
yeah, white rich men.
Cis straight rich men.
Yeah, these men. And it wasn't until later that there were some women who started to bring in their theories, but again, mainly white women. And it's like then seeing this all funneled down into university where, I mean, I know at my university, all of our, well, most of our professors were Caucasian, white people. I think we had one of our professors who was not
Caucasian.
Not Caucasian.
The caucasity.
Yes. You know what I mean? So it's like, we spent a lot of time talking about that because it's like in grad school, we're supposed to decide as a therapist, what is your theoretical background? And that's how you then help your clients. And you have to choose a theoretical background basically in order to get a job to make the money to then help the people.
You need to play the game.
You have to play the game
in order to get the alphabet soup.
Yes, the alphabet soup, like all my letters, like MA, LPC, NCC, even yoga, ERYT. Like I have to pay YA for those letters.
Yeah, we do every year.
Every year, which I appreciate the, governing system for ethics, but also it's like I had to play the game. I couldn't even get into grad school without playing the undergrad game. So what? I'm a communications major. I just truck through it so I can get through undergrad early so I can start grad school already because ultimately I want to be a therapist. But I had to play the game to get there.
And at the end of the game, like, what do? You disregard most of the things.
Well, yeah, and then it's like,
or like, what do you?
And then you put it into practice, and you're like, what? Like, I cannot just operate out of one theoretical background. I'm pulling from this and pulling from this and pulling from this and pulling from this. And then I'm pulling from my own life experience to help these people who are right in front of me. Because the theory is great and awesome and whatever, but like we talked about, like it's just also a theory. I'm like, I can make my own theory.
Yeah.
Like, let's sign up. Like, I'll do the research, whatever. Not that I'm going to do that, but it's like one of those things where my therapist over the summer decided she was going to taper off seeing clients because she really wanted to evaluate how does she move forward as a Black therapist in this world? And how does she take care of herself and her self-care and putting her first and foremost? And I was like, absolutely. Please. go, do, awesome. Like, that's amazing. You know, but how many other people just sit back, play the game to make the money? Maybe because they have to, and unfortunately, maybe because they have to. I don't know.
Because we have to, in some, like, so many cases, we're trapped in this, in these systems that intersect to oppress us in many ways, and to keep us poor, uneducated, like so many things, sick, so many things. And how do you like play the game to also like kind of like take advantage of it while you're at it, but at the same time you need to be working on yourself, and with the secrets that you already know, that are like with like everything that you have learned already.
Like, I have the cheat codes.
Yeah. You have the cheat code,
like I can build my Sims house, but also I can get as much money as I want, but still have to play the Sims.
Yes. And at the same time, it's like you have to do all these like self-work with like your cheat sheet. I can speak English today. But at the same time, it's so it pulls you in so many directions, because you're playing the game, you're working on yourself, and at the same time you need to be working together with everyone to fucking dismantle these systems.
Yes, absolutely. And then it's like trying to filter out like who's on your team, because it's like, we all know we're in this game, but like, are you on my team, or are you just kind of over there, maybe on my team, but like, are you undercover? Like, if I say the wrong thing to the wrong person, like, like that will not be good. But if I have like teammates who are also undercover, having some cheat codes that are the same as mine, like, okay, now we have a team. But it's even tricky, the network. What is this? What is it in The Handmaid's Tale? Like Mayday or something. Yeah, I just watched it. This is Mayday.
The widest feminist series ever.
But hey, it's a start. It's a start. It's something provoking enough to be like, oh, what? But the system.
But the game. The system. Game. You need to fucking fight it, dude.
It's intense. I felt a lot of emotion come up through me, and now it's like this nice, there's like no resolve, but it's just like a release.
Yeah, exactly. Because also, and like different topic, but like me personally have been deeply affected by Mars retrograde. Because
Mars.
I'm in Aries, and it really brings up these feelings of frustration, anger, impatience, like all of those things that I always try to like not suppress. I mean, not suppress, but like redirect.
Yes. Okay.
Healthily redirect, or or just like prevent them from even coming up when I'm like
with others.
Yeah. But right now it's like, but like, how have you been feeling lately with these, like, I don't know, cosmic,
with all the fire?
I
mean, literal fire. Literally. West Coast is on fire.
And that's another thing, dude. You know how many encounters, I mean, not a lot, because I don't put myself out there that much because this happens and it affects me, but I follow a lot of people like on Instagram, like these socialist accounts and environmentalist accounts and feminist accounts, like all these type of accounts to like educate myself and like see the world through other people's eyes and experiences and etc. So there have been all of these posts that are kind of like blaming the fires on like, those people who started the fire, like that family that made the gender reveal party, which I absolutely am against. Like, first of all, gender reveal parties, like, stop that. Stop the gendering thing now. But also, and like, yes, they are to blame for being complete stupid and idiots. But at the same time, it's like, who created the conditions for those fires to ignite? Like, there were so many, 80%, that's the statistics, that 80% of the fires were started by some human activity.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like the conditions were already like, it was fucking hot. It was like record breaking hot.
Mm-hmm.
The leaves were dry as fuck, and like all of these things for the fires to like spread and like
Basically
become
have the kindling.
what it, yeah. So all of these people have been like, don't pin this on the people, like, we haven't done this, because we are vegan, so we are aware of also like the impact that like, you know, those industries have in like water and pollution and suffering, but also in like carbon emissions and global warming and all of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, guys, like, we all did this. I've been saying kind of like, we all did this. Like, we all play a part in this. That's kind of like my argument. And I've had so much backlash about like, backlash, is that a thing?
Backlash,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, thanks. I know a word. About like, don't pin this on the people. It's the companies, it's the industries, it's the 1%. It's like, I'm like, yeah, of course, because we're in a system and that's not ethical. So it's very hard to have any ethical behaviors or like whatever within an unethical system. Yes. And we don't have the same responsibility as those fuckers, as the rich, or as the industries. Yes, I agree also. And not all of us can do the same.
Yeah.
We don't have the same resources.
Correct.
I agree. So we don't have the same level of responsibility, and we don't all have the same resources to do something about it.
Yeah.
I completely agree in all of that. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to do your part. And I found this actually on Instagram. I found this like really great quote yesterday actually, and I was like, yes, this is what I mean. Thank you for posting this, because this is exactly what I meant. And now I don't have any signal, but it was something like the fact that oh, here it is. I found it. The fact that we need systemic change to stop the climate crisis does not mean you get a pass on making individual changes. And that doesn't mean that you're going to make the same changes as me. That doesn't mean that you in poverty are going to make the same changes that I can make, and that as a white person living in the hills is going to make, and as a billionaire with a conglomerate of companies is going to make. You know, like, it's not the same. But at the same time, I've met so many people in the vegan. There's so many people that are anti-vegan. I cannot eat. Like, how are you anti something? Like, how are you anti? What? And that's what I've encountered. And it's like, it's just like, you're so blind, because within your activism of like, yeah, social justice and this and that, like, you think veganism is like this green, like this whitewashed thing, where in reality, another statistic that I recently learned, that it's like most of I don't want to say the wrong number, but there's a big amount of BIPOC people, and especially in the Black community, the percentage of people that goes vegan is way higher than in other races or in the white one. So with this, I mean, like, just like the yoga can be so like such like a beauty cult, and like for some people that take it so superficially and think it's just going to this $200 a month studio with your I don't want to say the brand, but like, you know, this brand that it's not very inclusive, and that you pay $100 for leggings and like, and with your water bottle and that you got, and then like, yes, that's one thing, but that doesn't mean that's yoga. And it's the same for veganism. It's not the same thing. I've met so many like undocumented people, working class people, kids, teenagers that are aware of this and that have decided to become vegan for many reasons, for the compassion part of it, for the suffering, for the environmental reasons, for all of these
Mm-hmm.
reasons. And then I'm like, and then you are telling me that I'm like taking part in this like capitalist bullshit, like whitewashed bullshit because I'm vegan. I'm like, no, I'm not telling anyone what to eat. Like, if it doesn't apply to you, don't take it.
Yeah.
But if it does apply to you, if you can substitute your meals, if you can change the way you eat, if it applies to you, why aren't you doing it? Because at this point, sorry, but it's affecting all of us.
Yeah.
It's not like, I don't know, 10 years ago you could say like, oh yeah, whatever, do it in your own time, like, okay, I didn't do it until I was 30 something, so they'll find their way, or like whatever. But right now it's like, look the fuck around. Like, this is, we all did this. And not
Yeah.
only
The
the
time is now.
industries, like it's everyone. We can all do something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think, yeah. I wanted to say that. I needed to get that off my chest.
Now a deep breath.
Yeah. So with Mars and that, it was like
Yeah.
2 days ago, I was like, these things, this girl in this socialist account even like went at the nerve to go to my account, to my personal account, like to my Instagram, and like comment on like one of my posts about veganism, which was all facts. It was just like hashtag go vegan, and like it was just like for humanity, for the animals, for the world, go vegan. And then it was this kind of like diagram of like all the consequences of eating animals. It was only facts. It wasn't anything subjective. I didn't say if you eat animals you're evil, because that was something like she commented like, because our food choices are evil. I'm like, I never fucking said that. And you like are harassing me at this point. You came into my Instagram, like this was like we were having a discussion in like a socialist account and comments, and now you decided to like follow me into my account, click on my posts, and like comment on one of my posts that is like literally just facts, to state that I'm saying that you're evil. I'm like, are you projecting?
Like, what is this?
Are you realizing that maybe you have some responsibility in this?
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely going out of
so
their
mad,
way.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, if you take a yogic sense of it, it's like the first yama is ahimsa.
The first yama. So it's like, it's
non-harming.
At this point, it's like, it's part of my spiritual practice.
Yeah,
period.
It's just part of the yogi life.
It's
a
part
pathway.
Of the yogi.
Yeah.
Well, yet a lot of yogis, I would say most yogis are not vegan, for example.
Yeah.
What's up with that? I mean, no,
I mean, non-harming. I don't know. That's like that's a
little bit
obviously a concept within themselves that they'll face. You know.
You know what else? I mean, everyone else has like a time and like a process, and I get when they're aware, and at least when they're aware, and at least when they're like, you know, like, I'm not vegan because whatever, like whatever hasn't clicked in their brain, like whatever. But when it's like even like bragging about it, and like, or like being anti-vegan, or like making fun of people or who are actually doing something within that category, I'm like, dude, then you're just an asshole. Like, come on.
It's just, I mean, it's just going out of your way to like, I don't know.
Going out of your way to spread hate. And that's when I'm like, this is why it's so important to work on yourself first.
Yeah.
Before you try to do any kind of like social, environmental, whatever the hell, justice movement, spreading any sort of word.
Yeah.
Like, work on yourself, bro. Like, are you compassionate? Are you a good person even? Like, what are you doing? And not even a good person, because that's like what's good and what's bad, but like, are you bettering yourself? Are you working on that? Because if not, you're not going to be able to change anything. Let's say we dismantle all the systems of oppression and like after the revolution we are victorious. Yeah, but we're just a bunch of assholes. What do you think that's going to take us? Probably
Not where I want to go.
Not where
I don't want to be there.
I don't want to wait.
I just want to world peace.
For us to be over. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's like we need to do both things.
Mm-hmm.
We need to work on both things.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes even more in like yourself, because otherwise how can you serve the movement? How can you serve the purpose if you don't have the clarity to know what you need to be doing or what's the next step or what's even like appropriate at this point?
Yeah.
You can turn to the dark side so easily.
So
Look at Osho.
easy.
Look at Anakin Skywalker.
Yes.
Yeah, you can definitely.
It's easy.
It's so easy.
It's easy because
In one day.
Yeah, but that's the same thing. It can be so easy to turn it around too. It can be so easy to step in the light. You just have to make the choice.
Choices.
Shadow work. Do your things, yo.
Shower.
Shower. Personal, daily care. Taking care of yourself. So you can take care of ultimately the world, because if Mother Earth hasn't cried enough, like she's burning,
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, through all the Mars retrograde and the fires and everything, I've been doing that Ho'oponopono meditation, which basically it comes from I think Hawaiian lineage, but it's basically saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, I thank you. So you apply it to anything that's going on, because no matter what, your energy is here. You are here for a purpose. You are here for a reason, and you impact everything. Because you are energy and everything is energy. So
you are the universe.
Yes.
You are Mother Earth. You are the planet.
We are all burning. We are all experiencing this. And so it's like taking that ownership. I am sorry. I'm sorry for things that I have done to contribute to, if you want to dedicate to the fires. Yeah. And then please forgive me, asking for forgiveness, asking for the humility, understanding that forgiveness is not to the fire. Forgiveness is for you.
To reset, for a new start, to start over.
Yes.
To correct you, to change your path, to realign.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Absolutely.
When I start doing
all the things with the hands, I have no words.
Help me. Please feel free to. Yeah.
And there's I love you, because you are love. We are all love. So stepping into the heart space, stepping into pure love. I love you. I love you. I love all. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Hannah.
But also the gratitude practice, right?
Every day.
All things. Like I literally, this is maybe TMI, but I was sitting on the toilet.
I love TMI.
And I was like, toilet paper. I have such gratitude for toilet paper right now that I have enough squares to get me through this until I go to the grocery store.
You need the
I do. I want the bidet. I need to figure that out. But you know what I mean? It's just like gratitude for the trees that created this paper to wipe my ass so I can have comfort. I don't walk around with monkey butt.
Sure.
Whatever. It is like, the monkeys. What are those? Like the Rafiki monkeys.
The buffaloes too.
Or the buffaloes.
They have like hanging, like dreads.
Oh yeah, dreads.
Of like loose hair. And like,
all the stuff.
Shit.
Like good thing my area is nice and clean and not rashy, and I don't need to Vaseline anything. Like I'm so thankful for you, toilet paper. It's just TMI a little, but it really is. It's like you can put gratitude in literally everything you do. So it's like,
and thank yourself, thank your body.
Yes. There's so much we could be thanking for a whole episode. We could be thanking forever.
Okay, so say that again. Say that.
So the Ho'oponopono meditation is.
Say it again. What is it?
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono.
Yeah, I think it's H-O, comma.
Apostrophe.
Oponopono. Apostrophe. Ho'oponopono.
Ho, I'll never forget that.
Ho.
Ho. Ho apostrophe
Ho'oponopono.
oponopono.
H-O-P-O.
Ho'oponopono in
Okay,
español.
here is it. Here it is. H-O apostrophe. O-P-O-N-O-P-O-N-O. Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono. And that means
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I thank you.
Okay.
But I've just been doing that every day and then going to the ocean to say thank you to Mama Earth because I need to cool it down.
And we also joined that
the rain visualization meditation on IG Live. One of my friends sent me the post on IG. So I was like, yes, let's go. Rain dance, like whatever.
Let's focus. Let's visualize some rain. Some water falling from the sky. Yeah.
Nourishment, tears, whatever. Bring it.
Okay, well, so I wanna let's say goodbye with that.
Okay.
Again with the ho'oponopono. Ready? We'll say it in Polynesian. Is that Hawaiian?
Hawaiian.
Okay, we'll say it in Hawaiian and then in English.
What's Hawaiian?
Hawaiian is a part of the Polynesian culture, isn't it?
Yeah. But how do we say it in Hawaiian?
That is Hawaiian.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, Hawaiian is one of the it's part of
the Polynesian culture. Yes.
But there are more languages, right? I don't know. I know
unless it's native Hawaiian. I probably need to learn more.
Me too. I don't know what I'm saying.
We can do our part too. We're always learning. Yes.
Okay, so in Hawaiian is
ho'oponopono.
In English is
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I thank you. Okay. Satnam.
Namaste. Satnam.
Namaste.
Laters.